Light a campfire and everyone's a storyteller. Join us for some thought-provoking and beyond fireside chats.
Hello and welcome to Leave Our World a Better Place. My name is Kasha and today I'm speaking to Linda King, and Beyond Group Human Resources and Training Director. Linda will be telling us about the 3-year process that led to the launch of the And Beyond Academy, which is designed to allow And Beyond staff to gain accredited qualifications while working. Hi, Linda. Thank you so much for coming on to chat to us about the And Beyond Academy.
Hi, Kaz. Great to have the opportunity to chat. Looking forward to it.
Linda, the And Beyond Academy is something that you've been working on for quite a few years now, and I know that it's a topic that's very close to your heart. To kick off with, please could you give us a brief overview of what it is?
Sure. Yes, the And Beyond Academy is very close to my heart and to many of the people in And Beyond, because it's something that we've all had the intention of doing for many years. And over the last 3 years, it's definitely accelerated. So to go into what it is the And Beyond Academy is our training school, and it offers And Beyond certification and qualification. This, of course, is leveraged off our 30 years of robust quality training material and practice that we have had in place since inception. As well as that, we collaborate with external government bodies in some countries and educational institutions where appropriate to have accredited certification and qualification. Essentially, there are 4 elements to the And Beyond Academy. There's the And Beyond certification and qualification, and the accredited certification and qualification, as I've spoken through now. And then there is a training digital repository, and that has been in place to meet the business needs, edge the product, and keep evolving with this ever-growing technology-focused world. It's a digital world that we live in now. And of course, keeping the channel of the ongoing traditional and beyond training. The most important part for us is that it forms part of And Beyond's economic value impact. So success for us is not the starting of the academy that can be easily achieved by many, but in sustaining itself in all senses and being able to have longevity due to the way it was planned, implemented, the material used, definitely the methodology thought of at each touch point, because it was incredibly important to us that it didn't just become another empty dream or promise. It needs to sustain and help our And Beyonders grow and develop through the years.
Absolutely. Now, this is quite unique, and I don't think that anything of this scale has ever been done in the travel industry before. Why did we make the decision to create the program rather than going through something that already existed with an existing institution?
That was something that we did consider, Kaz, definitely, and we'll certainly keep partnering with other learning institutions as and where appropriate. But for us, the key driver was to do something that would benefit our staff and the communities we operate in to leave the world a better place. So to do that, we had to ensure that we could provide And Beyonders access to something that they would not possibly be able to access readily. And that is education, an education with certification and in some cases qualification. We very much believe that education is one of the key leverages to empowering people and giving individuals opportunity to make choices that can fundamentally affect their lives positively. So the other thing that we know for sure is that access to education is limited now in terms of funding, but the actual placements are limited, if not impossible to get in at this moment in time for many. We also had to consider that we have many long-term staff who have 10 to 25-year tenures, and they've developed incredible skills and knowledge while at And Beyond. And it was equally important to us that we recognize the skill, the experience, and the training and formalize these into certification and qualification. At this moment, when we look at staffing over the years, what we've known for sure that it would be very difficult, if not impossible, for most of our staff to be able to go to an existing institution and take part in the traditional learning pathways, as many support their families and other people. I mean, that's the beauty of And Beyonders who are very giving. So to tie it together, the Academy was formed to give and beyonders an opportunity to get certified and qualified whilst they're in the workplace and still be able to provide for their families. And as a company, we've enjoyed leading and influencing the industry. We wanted to continue that and offer something different that's not available in other companies. Thankfully, training is available in most companies, but for us, this would be a value add proposition and attractor for great people.
Now, there's a great deal of investment that's gone into the creation of the And Beyond Academy, both in terms of time and money and pure effort. What are some of the underlying ethics or beliefs that motivate And Beyond to provide this level of training to its staff?
Yes, the training school, the And Beyond Academy, definitely speaks to one of our core values, which is care of the people. And if we want to make a difference, the way to do that was to invest time and money in the academy, because we believe that by doing that, we would honor the journeys of the and beyonders, where their skills, knowledge, and experience are recognized. It also facilitates the growth and development of and beyonders to progress in their various departments, which has benefits attached to that in all ways. It also enables more consistency and alignment to our brand promise too for our guests, who we also care deeply for. So again, we believe that investing in people is a way to ensure that we make a difference, and that always remains our North Star. This is a way to change the world for the better, we believe, and tangible change can be seen in individuals, their families, communities, and beyond, and then the greater world as such. It's about leaving the world in a better place.
I'd like to take a little bit of a closer look at those four elements that you've spoken about, Linda. So it's And Beyond accreditation, external accreditation, the digital training repository, and the traditional And Beyond training, which we've been doing for probably as long as the company has existed. What has been the value of this, and why did we decide that we needed to formalize an element of it?
Yeah, okay. That is another good question, Kaz, because I think that the formalizing aspect of our already existing training was a way for our and beyonders to reap the benefits of obtaining certification and qualification that would have more value for staff in the future. As a company, we can see that the guest feedback scores are showing us that our traditional training is working and robust. We also needed our staff to feel that they had earned something too and feel recognized. So we believe it's given them an opportunity to study further, maybe enter new fields, be promoted, to improve their own skills and knowledge, and in turn to pay it forward by assisting others and acting as mentors. We already seen that happening. As somebody engages and achieves, it inspires others to do the same, and people guide other people already. What we know for sure is that the traditional, robust, sustainable, and effective training that And Beyond has always been known for will continue simultaneously. We truly, truly believe that there is space for all channels of training. It's a way for us to recognize and value our training as much as the greater industry does, whilst recognizing our staff and their work journeys. And it's about opening up learning options for all of our And Beyonders.
Absolutely. So, when you were developing the And Beyond Academy, there were very specific departments of And Beyond that were chosen as a focus for the pilot phases. Can you talk a little bit about what those departments were and why?
Initially, we first looked at And Beyond has the lodge and the travel side to the business. So, in the lodge space, at the inception of the academy in 2017, we focused on the kitchen because food is such a subjective area, and we wanted to ensure that we had full alignment and focused training in this area, as well as ensuring that all health and safety needs and training were amplified. So they were already in place, but we just needed to do more of it, especially things like dietary requirements, which can be life-threatening if it is not followed properly. Due to our ethos and practice of ensuring local communities benefit from And Beyond being in the various areas that we operate in, the reality is that the majority of our staff come from surrounding areas. And thus, it remains true that we don't have traditional kitchen qualifications in our kitchens. We have excellent chefs. and excellent staff, and the structures and framework are in place to meet the international standards our brand delivers on. And whilst we continue to edge the product and we want to ensure further alignment throughout our kitchens for consistency, growth, and development, that was the reason why we chose kitchens as a starting point in the lodge space. In the travel space, touring was very much the obvious next step, as we already train each new touring consultant for 6 weeks when they join and beyond. And once they've been trained in the various areas, they actually need to pass a full set of examinations and achieve a pass mark to stay employed after training and probation. So the Touring Academy was a way and is a way to formalize the training that we have. And what we also know is that and beyonders are already experts at doing much of what it is that they do. And now we needed to update and certify and qualify them for something that they are capable of doing. In South Africa, we were fortunate enough to work with some external bodies to create a 3-year new course for our travel teams. And it was a course that was specifically designed to align not only to the national framework, but also to the needs of our business. And that was a first. And we're extremely proud of the work that went into this over the last 3 years to enable it. We have our first year students currently in play. We're very proud of the journey that they've engaged on.
It's so exciting to be able to offer something that has been developed by and beyond itself and that really targets the needs of those people that you're training. But, I'm also very aware of the huge amount of work and the number of steps that went into this before you were able to offer external accreditation. You had to do things like creating certified material, becoming recognized as a skills development provider, and also having certified assessors within the company. Were there people that we partnered with in order to create that certified material that we needed? And can you tell us a little bit about how long this process took?
Yes, definitely. What we absolutely knew from the start, Kaz, is that we couldn't do this on our own. This is too important and too great an achievement that will impact too many people to try and work out all the answers ourselves. So we were very clear from the get-go that we needed to find partners who had similar vision and values as And Beyond does, and we did. We found 2 education partners, very similar visions, if not the same, and they in turn had experience in doing exactly what we needed to do, getting the material accredited with a clear focus on aligning it to the business needs and the national frameworks, as well as they had relationships and networks with government institutions. More importantly, they had the experience and knowledge that we didn't have. So together with what we could bring to the table and their experience and knowledge, they were able to assist and guide us to get to where we had got to today. Also importantly, both of them, in fact, had seats at the table in terms of making decisions, and it was very much one of those partnerships that leveraged us to be able to create the new 3-year course that we've started in the touring side of the business. And the most important focus that we had to do when applying for that was, has it been personalized and tailor-made to actually meet the needs of the business as well as the national framework? And will it be sustainable? Will we be able to implement this and sustain it whilst people work and still achieve what the national framework wanted from it, as well as what our And Beyonders need to deliver the extraordinary guest experiences that they do. And so that took us 3 years to do. So it is a long, slow process, but it was an intended process. And it was something that needed to take place if it was going to be effective.
Absolutely. You need to take the time to put the proper foundation into place.
Yes.
Okay, so another aspect that you had to deal with was becoming registered as skills development providers. Now, obviously, we couldn't just register all of our And Beyond facilities or lodges for that. How did you go about identifying the specific facilities that would be registered, and how did you decide what those would be.
Okay, with the certification, the external certification and qualification, we started in South Africa in our lodges, and we looked at our three main large lodges as the starting point, which was Pinda Mountain, Pinda Forest, and Ingala Lodge. So we do believe that these kitchens would then enable other kitchens in the respective regions to be able to apply the same. We also had to comply with external regulations regarding the training venue to get our accreditation. So we went through a very vigorous interviewing process as well as checks, quite a few steps to get that accredited. So it not only did we make the choice, but actually the accrediting body actually decided if they were able to be accredited. And then for the and beyond qualification, we have started work throughout Africa in the housekeeping department, which is steadily moving forward. And in the travel space, there was already a training facility at Batley House, which is based in Johannesburg. And that has been in place for decades, actually. What we needed to do was to ensure that it met governmental standards and the requirements for training venue, which it did. And this room also serves as a COVID-friendly space, which in training. So the reality now is that people can actually come to Batley House or they can do it online. And we actually do a bit of a hybrid at the moment because, of course, the health and safety is continuously focused in through this phase that we're in at this moment in time. This is where we edged the training with the further 3-year course for our and beyonders who wanted to engage. So we've got our training continuing. We've got our 3-year course, which has started. And as I said, that is a hybrid between face-to-face and mostly on Zoom. And then the digital repository will be used globally, and that rolled out and is in play. Again, I just want to keep highlighting that our traditional training will always continue as it's good. It's stood the test of time, it's yielded results, it's sustained itself, and so that will keep on going.
So it's an addition. It's not actually doing away with anything that was existing. It's building on top of that.
Exactly. It's an and. It's the beauty of the and it definitely is building on a robust foundation.
Okay, so as part of this process of setting up the academy, we also had to have some of our staff certified as assessors. And I think there were 4 chefs that were selected as part of the first to do this. And also some of our staff from the touring side. Who were they and why were they chosen? And what did they have to do in order to become certified?
Okay. So the exec chefs or senior chefs that were selected, they were based on seniority because if we're going to implement it in the workplace, that has to be, somebody who actually knows the lay of the land in the kitchens and can actually implement this simultaneously and understand what needs to be done. But very much with that was the personal trait of the various individuals. Did they have a love of training and paying it forward? That was critical. They also needed to be aligned to the and beyond culture of mentoring, training, guiding, and how they would do this, whilst still focusing on delighting guests. So once we made our selection, we were delighted to walk this journey with William and Dave from Pinda and Lulama and Dumi from the Lowveld Lodges. And then in the touring side, we very much looked at the same methodology. Had to be senior people in place, either as trainers or heads of department. The point being that they would be able to enable this so that people could work and learn at the same time and be assessed and accredited and moderated. And that's Renee, who is the touring trainer at Batley House from the touring side in Johannesburg. And with that was the heads of department, Claudia and Roxanne, in the touring side. So again, we partnered with the accredited training companies to ensure that we met all the training, the documentation and compliance needs so that we'd be able to implement in the workplace and have accredited assessors and moderators in the workplace to make that happen and be sustainable.
Linda, another element that you've mentioned very briefly was the creation of a central knowledge depository, which is online and it's easily accessible everywhere. Tell us about this and why it's such an important part of and Beyond Academy.
Sure. For us, COVID, as for everybody else, has been a really difficult time. But one of the gifts of COVID for and beyond was the acceleration of the digital platform. This had been a long-term plan for many years, with one obvious reason being the rate at which the world is transferring to the digital space. But for many good reasons, it hadn't had the time and focus needed. COVID gave us that time, space, and capacity to focus on this project. And it was created out of necessity during COVID, right at the start of it, for the and beyond's various regions to be able to access training, information, and documentation in one central point and to have reach globally. So that really was an important point because, as we all know, the world changed overnight and we still needed to keep training our and beyonders and inspiring them. And so this lull in operations gave us an opportunity and the space to review and consolidate our training too. The important part of the Academy digital platform is that it connects and beyonders in new ways and ensures that even remote regions have access to a single source of truth of information in real time. And that was not always possible previously. So this will be used to connect with current performance management systems and people-focused projects aimed at growth and development, and it will feed into all of those different projects that we have and accelerate the development of and beyonders.
It's such a valuable tool, especially for a company that's geographically as far spread as we are, I think.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, Linda. So as a result of this pilot phase that you've gone through, where we sit now is that we're able to provide accreditation as well as certification to some of our staff members. What is the difference between the two? And what are the benefits of each of those?
Okay, so the value add for each and beyonder will be different in different departments and in different countries. So for us, it's an ongoing needs analysis in the different departments as we keep rolling this out and will be for many years to come. For some and beyonders, the and beyond certificate and qualification is more valued, whilst for others, it will be an external certificate or qualification, which is more valued. And also in some countries, the national framework will dictate whether we need internal or external. So accreditation means that we are accredited with a specific external body in education or government or both. And as I said, in some departments and in some countries, it may be both. So it depends on the and beyonder and the national requirements that will dictate which one or if both will be applied in the different departments in different countries.
Linda, you mentioned the context of COVID, and I think it's obvious to anybody that the And Beyond Academy was trialed and tested in the most trying of circumstances at the very height of the COVID-19 pandemic. How has this proved the resilience and the adaptability of the program?
The clear litmus test for the Academy since inception was to have a robust, planned, well thought out program that would be able to be sustainable and long lasting in all senses, on the ground and in the digital space. For us, implementation and alignment to business needs and process was critical. So whilst this took longer, it was necessary for the success of the Academy. So speaking to COVID simply tested this resilience more, and we came out the other side with a few firsts. The digital platform and finding creative, new, innovative ways of achieving what we had to achieve, but with different thinking, methodology, and process. All and beyonders have had to adapt and be resilient in the face of this unprecedented pandemic. And it's influenced each of us, not only on and beyonders, obviously, but globally. But at and beyond, we knew we had to think out of the box, and especially with the Academy, and come up with new creative ideas and benefits for and beyonders. And for us, the Academy, the digital platform, the 3-year course, everything, every aspect of the Academy has been a benefit for and beyonders and a positive consequence of COVID, and something that will change our business for good forever. We do believe that we are doing the right thing with the Academy, as we did for our and beyonders through COVID, and we're very proud of that.
Absolutely, and it's definitely something to be proud of.
Thank
But
you.
Linda, we've spoken a lot about the and beyonders themselves. There's a long-term plan to extend the benefits of And Beyond Academy to the communities that surround our lodges. And that would be in partnership with Africa
Sure.
Foundation. And the idea is to do this by creating a training school linked to And Beyond in each community. Tell us a little bit more about this, how it is projected to work, and what would be the benefits.
Yes, definitely. The intention for us as And Beyond is definitely to have a robust implemented academy in place first. And once a pilot is completed, then we can see where synergies can be made with the communities. But the synergy and the impact on the communities has always been an intended focus and process. We have been in communication with the Africa Foundation since inception so that conversations could start to see opportunities and leverage off those. Because, like with any intervention that's done and remains sustainable, the conversations are intended, take time, take focus, and so they need to be started way before the implementation phase starts. The exact way forward has not yet been determined, as there needs extensive consultation with all stakeholders in the various places to ensure that the right solution is worked out for sustainability and longevity in the places where we will interact with.
That's a really great long-term plan on the community side. As one final question before we go, apart from this, what are the next steps for the And Beyond Academy?
Okay, so this is really exciting because the Academy is worked on daily and it keeps evolving literally on a daily basis. For the accreditation side, as we said in the touring space, we have our first year students in place and they have started their 3-year course, so they will continue that for the next 3 years, and that will be so exciting. And in 3 years' time, they will finish their course. We will continue with our kitchen rollout, and we have started working in housekeeping with the implementation taking place towards the end of this year. Following the success of that, we will then move on to other departments. In terms of the digital repository, that work that's been updated daily. The various genres of training and engagement, working throughout the business on keeping on uploading information and training material. And then, of course, what we will continue to do is also seek collaborative partnerships in all the other countries that we operate in and look at working on best solutions for that respective country, for group alignment, as well as regional relevance and yield. And that's really important because each of the countries will be different. The pilot was quite SA focused, and the next steps are identifying partners in other regions and working on partner accreditation where relevant and necessary. But again, the And Beyond traditional training will continue alongside the And Beyond certification and qualification. So that is the exciting way forward, Kaz. And the best part for us is that now various channels of training are open to And Beyonders, and Beyonders have choice for growth and development, and they all coexist together to leave our And Beyonders in a better place than when they started with us.
It's definitely such an exciting project, and I think it's been really lovely talking to you to get some insight into everything, all the work that's happened to actually get us to this point. And I really believe that now is the time for And Beyond Academy to have its spot in the sun and shine and to move on from strength to strength. So thank you to you and your team for all the incredible effort that's gone into this. I really look forward to seeing how the And Beyond Academy grows.
Thank you, Kaz, and thank you for the opportunity. This has been an extraordinary project to work on, and the team is the whole of And Beyond, because that's the critical point here, is that this cannot be, the quantum of this can't be achieved by one person, one department. It's the collaboration internally and the intention of all directors, management, trainers to want and have the will to make this succeed that has brought us to where we are today. So we are extremely proud, and thank you so much on behalf of everybody who's been involved in this, and that is many, many And Beyonders throughout the globe. And thank you for the opportunity.
It's only a pleasure. I'm sure we'll be checking in with you again to hear about some wonderful success stories from And Beyond Academy. But for now, thank you so much.
Thanks, Kaz. Have a good one.
Thank you for listening to Leave Our World a Better Place. Don't forget to subscribe to make sure that you never miss an episode. If you'd like to find out more about And Beyond, please log on to our website at andbeyond.com.